Alright, we got a SunnyV2 video, how microtransactions destroyed Plants vs. Zombies. The death of most games, them dang microtransactions. Greedy, greedy, greedy. And I believe it's because EA bought the game, isn't it? You know how EA is. I'm pretty sure EA bought this game and came out with it. I could be wrong, could be another developer, I'm not sure. But let's find out and watch this together.
Zombies 1 was truly video game perfection. Reviewers couldn't find even one thing wrong with its simple addictive gameplay. Compare this to the recent Plants vs Zombies 3, which people have called a game that straight up comes from a garbage can, in which watching 30-second ads for double coin rewards is more fun than the game itself. Let's explore how Plants vs Zombies eventually lost its way from an amazing tower defense game fall into the extremely predatory mobile game landscape. Firstly, what made the original so damn good? At a price of just $2.99 in the App Store, with no ads or extra in-game purchases, Plants vs Zombies 1 was simply amazing value. The easy first level gets players addicted immediately.
In just one level, the game already indoctrinates you into its gameplay cycle flawlessly and in a fun way.
With one 5-star review writing, I won't say that the game is a cakewalk, but it isn't particularly challenging either. Still, the game offers enough mental stimulation that I never once grew bored. This is due to the game's incredible variety, offering loads of different plants, zombies, and music, with comments stating the soundtrack alone is enough to make you want the game. This makes it so entrancing that people can play for hours, which led to crazy commercial success. In addition to almost perfect professional reviews, Plants vs Zombies became the highest rated App Store product, having sold more than 300,000 copies in its first 9 days available, a new App Store launch record. Developers expanded the game to 13 other platforms, creating so much success for PopCap Games they'd be bought by EA for $650 million. Yep, EA. The company was such an extreme reputation for greed, there's an entire Wikipedia page dedicated to criticism of the company. People have called their use of microtransactions a plague, which sadly began to infect Plants vs Zombies, because on the 15th of August 2013, Plants vs Zombies 2 came out, with one key difference compared to the first.
PopCap found a way to cram this game with as many in-app purchases and microtransactions as humanly possible, to the point where it's too much of a hindrance for me to actually enjoy the game.
Plants vs Zombies 2 features microtransactions. Unlike in the previous entries to the series, new plants can be purchased with real money, as well as upgrades and coins. These items can also be bought in bundles to save some money. Certain plants could only be accessed using cold hard cash, and while coins could be naturally earned in-game, you could pay up to $52 to instantly unlock them. The Pirate Seas and Wild West levels can also be unlocked without earning all of the required stars. They cost $5.49 each to instantly access. More controversial for whatever reason was the game's new art style. People argued that every single character looked to be designed by a totally different person, each of whom had their own way of drawing. There's full videos dedicated to the poorly designed plants, with the excessive discussion about this flaw being a meme within the community. This was because they'd hired a whole new team of designers, and under suspicious circumstances fired George Fan, who designed PvZ1 all by himself. An article later confirmed EA fired Plants vs Zombies creator for refusing microtransactions in sequel, explaining that George had lost his job as he didn't agree with the pay-to-win model. He'd partially confirmed this by tweeting, regarding recent rumors, it is true I was laid off by EA/PopCap, and also true that I was against making PvZ2 a freemium game. That's all I'll say on the matter for now. Sure do miss paying for a game once, and unlocking cool things by actually, you know, playing that game. You and me both, man. These elements led to videos claiming Plants vs Zombies 1 is better than Plants vs Zombies 2, but that's not to say that the second game was awful. It featured so many different plants it's hard to even count them, and offered 312 levels compared to just 50 in PvZ1. These PvZ2 levels were each set at varying levels of difficulty, better serving a wider range of players. The second game therefore also received amazing feedback, with critics stating the game is just as enjoyable without spending a dime, and that you'll only need to pay if you're exceptionally impatient or just not not very good at these kind of games. The microtransaction model also meant the game was totally free, leading to 25 million downloads in the first 2 weeks, more than PvZ1 had achieved in 4 years. In fact, according to Hey I'm Jay, for every dollar the original was making, PvZ2 made 26,000. They'd therefore make the original free for every player, although this meant people would be paying with their time.
It's free now, which naturally means that the game absolutely bombards you with ads.
Oh, that's so
God, I
annoying.
love mobile games. There are ads before and after levels now, and even during, where the game tries to distract you as much as possible to watch a video for an extra item.
Before every level you have to watch an unskippable ad, then sit there prompted to download what you watched. At the end of every level, you're forced to briefly play a different mobile game.
Oh, that's the worst. To when you can't just sit there and watch the ad, because you could just do something else. These ones that make you play a mini game, that's so bad.
With the hope that you'll download it later. Items can be earned by watching further ads, which are even served to those who initially paid for the game. You could say it's even more annoying than the microtransaction model, which was earning so much money for PvZ2 that start to build Plants vs Zombies 3. In the meantime, developers took a detour and put out Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare.
Oh, I remember this. I remember this game. This game was like, I bought this as a meme a long time ago. Just like, let me play this shit fest, and it was actually really fun. Oh no, it was the second one. It was the second one that I played. It was actually really cool.
This third-person shooter was certainly different, but extremely well received, achieving consistent reviews of 7 out of 10 or higher. Garden Warfare was surprisingly amazing.
Yeah, it was
I remember
good.
Spending definitely over 500 hours grinding it as a kid. They'd therefore released Garden Warfare 2, which was even more successful than the first, confirming the third-person shooter style was perfect for the series. So when they'd announced what was basically Garden Warfare 3, developers likely expected another successful title. It was called Plants vs Zombies Battle for Neighborville, which featured an epic trailer in 2019, gaining over 15 million views from super excited fans, but with people eventually stating,
"This whole trailer was fantastic and I love it. Too bad I love the trailer more than the game."
The game was a total flop. Plants vs Zombies Battle for Neighborville is one of the worst games you've never heard of. Extensive posts like this called it a complete and utter disaster in almost every way, and one of, if not the worst multiplayer game I have played in 2019. It referenced problems such as bugs and graphical errors, textures and map design are absolutely horrible, whilst the characters all control awfully and feel very unenergetic, since the sound design is absolutely garbage. Then, of course, there were the microtransactions.
These need to be unlocked, and the way you unlock these characters is through a specific challenge called giving EA $30. But the game already costs $30 to buy, and you expect players to spend that twice in order to play the new characters?
Does this remind anyone of anything? Star Wars Battlefront 2, when they came out, and then Darth Vader gets announced, it releases, you gotta pay money to be Darth Vader. Ooh, they got so much backlash. It's literally the same thing they're doing here.
As mentioned, the game already cost $40, but demanded an extra $30 to unlock every character, which could be unlocked by grinding the game, but would take about 3 months to earn one costume. Players therefore dismissed the game completely, writing, "As a player who played the 2 previous games of this one, I can say that this game is a joke on the Plants vs Zombies franchise. Bad graphics, boring gameplay, boring characters. Compared to Garden Warfare 1 and 2, this game is very bad. They'd therefore stop updating it after only 11 months, leading to comments like, 'It is so sad how fast this game died. If it had a little more time to develop and didn't have microtransactions, then it would have never disappeared.' But apparently the franchise didn't learn their lesson, as during that very same year, Plants vs Zombies 3 was nearing completion. They'd had 7 full years since PvZ2, setting high expectations for PvZ3. However, when the first bit of gameplay was posted to YouTube, people instantly disliked it. PvZ1, skill. PvZ2, wallet. PvZ3, 3 won't download it. Why? For starters, the game
Look
was
at
now
that,
in
looks
portrait,
so
which to be
weird.
honest was probably more convenient, but at the same time it looked extremely weird. The lawn is literally horizontal. Why? Why is the display vertical? The game had also gone from 2D to 3D and had another change in art style, prompting memes such as this. It is evolving just backwards. The new pea shooter model looked absolutely awful, which sadly couldn't be upgraded through microtransactions. With videos like Plants vs Zombies 3 is mechanically broken, gaining over 2 million views, PvZ3 was taken off the App Store. They'd re-release it one year
so
later,
bad.
to which people said compared to the alpha this looks great, however again it still wasn't good enough. This happened again in 2022, then again in
They released it 4
2024,
times.
receiving the same feedback at every single point. The game was simply boring.
There is just nothing to do in this game, man, besides grind the stupid
Why does it
main
look
quest
like
that just
that?
sucks. 90-something levels of doing the same thing over and over and over is so boring.
I've just spent 3 hours playing the 4th beta of PvZ3, and I gotta
4th
say,
beta
how
is
does EA get
crazy.
away with this? The game is 10,000% dumbed down, no more collecting plants, no more input on plant choosing, sun is now worth 1 and plants cost 1 to 5 plus, animations feel capped at 10 FPS, gameplay feels unfun. Others complained it just had a scummy feeling.
Right out of the gate, seems to just have that manipulative mobile game feel about it. You know
Looks
that
so
feeling.
Everything
weird.
about this game feels
3D.
off. It's like I'm watching an App Store ripoff of PvZ. As a result, it's still in development 5 years after its first alpha launch.
Oh, it's sad, man. Such good games destroyed by money, 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 money. That's all it ever is about. Good video, Sunny. As always.